Entertainment Soldier here, and I am back to talk about Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Season 3, Episode 5, and my thoughts on this episode. This is the best episode of the season so far. I am genuinely shocked, and I am right, as it turns out. We are just going from a good episode to a bad episode, good episode. So, yeah, that's kind of strange for this season, but hey, I'm not going to complain. If we get a good episode every so often, I'd be happy. And the other thing about this episode, it actually felt like a Star Trek episode, not a crappy drama, romantic bullshit episode. Yes, there was that stuff in this episode. They don't seem to be able to pull themselves away from that storytelling because we did have a little bit of that shit between Kirk and Christine, but it was drowned out by the fantastic story that they concentrated on. So I give the writers a little bit of credit for that. They still had to put that shit in there, but it was in the background. It wasn't the main focus of the episode. I did have a concern that it would be because they were kind of talking about it too much, but throughout the episode it was concentrate on the main story. Do not waste our time with Spark's love life. So that was good. But yeah, the fact that this episode felt like a Star Trek episode, the fact that we actually went to a new world, we actually explored something new, something terrifying, something interesting. Yes, it is still surprising that they can actually accomplish this in Star Trek. Took them a fucking long time to get this episode, but, well, at least we got it. And I gotta give credit to the actors and actresses, all did a great job. I mean, the second story in this episode, I mean, my god. A character you just introduce and you give him such a big role in this episode, that's great. How the fuck could Discovery not do this? You know, bring in a new character, give him a hell of a lot of, presence in the episode. Not just keep him in the background, put him front and centre, give him a great storyline, and his ending was great. It all made sense. That's another thing. This episode made sense. They were acting like Starfleet officers. They weren't trying to have emotional bullshit moments. Like, yes, the Doctor and his story, there was emotional shit in it, but it was a doctor at some points, a friend at other points, and it made sense. That was great. I have not got many problems with this episode. I could done without the Spark and Christine shit, but other than that, it was interesting. I was interested in the story. I wanted to know more about this place they were searching. It was also great to have a strange scene with Pike's girlfriend and an alien, which was kind of funny. Like, where the fuck is that come from? That was interesting. Want to see where that goes. There's a little bit of a cliffhanger in this episode at the end with the computer. I want to know more. But again, it pisses me off that this is surprising, that this isn't just the default for Star Trek, because it used to be like this with Star Trek. A good episode that explored something new, explored something terrifying that you'd be interested in, that you'd want to watch. Oh, it felt good to watch this. But I do have one little complaint, which some people might say it's a bit over the top, but I think this episode should have been a two-parter. Now, it might be a two-part because of the cliffhanger, but for me, you could have told a lot more stories with the creature on the Enterprise. That could have been interesting if that had gone somewhere a bit more important. How they get out of the situation on the planet, that could have been turned into a two-parter. I would love to see more exploration through this facility that they found. For me, it's kind of gutting we didn't get a two-parter from this episode. If you're going to do a two-part of any episode, this is an episode to do it with. Interesting story, interesting bad guy, and I want to know more about this facility you found. I want to know. And you've just stopped it with just one episode. That's annoying. And this is something you should want, Strange New Worlds, be wanting more of this. So yeah, I will put that down as a negative. This should have been a two-parter. By the end, it did feel like they were rushing to the end, where if you put this as a two-parter, you could have slowed things down, we could have explored more. Again, this is Kurtzman Trek. We rarely get good exploitation episodes. Exploring episode, what the fuck ever. It just feels gutting that they were this close to a perfect episode and a perfect two-parter, and they just didn't do it. But again, it's still a great episode. It's the best episode of the season. Would I go so far to say the best episode ever from Strange New Worlds? I'm going to have to come back on that. I'm not too sure about that. The problem is I don't really remember most of fucking Strange New Worlds, so I don't know. For me, it's definitely up there. It's definitely a great episode. And yeah, it actually felt like fucking Star Trek. Jesus, to have to say that. It's still stupid. It's still stupid. But what would I give this episode out of 10? I'm going to go really high with this. And some people might disagree. I'm going to put out an 8. An 8 out of 10. Listen, there's still problems. There's still Christine and Christine and Spark shit that they need to get rid of. And they've added La'an into this now. So that's a fucking stupid thing. Got 3 officers having to... I'll go into the spoilers, but it is stupid, and I damn taking a point off for that, because again, I want to watch Star Trek, not some crappy soap opera. So 8 out of 10. Let's get to spoilers now. If you don't want to hear spoilers, leave in 3, 2, 1. So this episode starts off with the Enterprise heading to a planet that Christine's boyfriend Rex has asked to do an archaeological dig, and he has to get permission from this alien race called the Macrons. They've agreed, and he's got on Starfleet to agree to help him out, basically why Christine's there. And Federation has agreed, but there's certain rules that have to be followed from the Macron side. But also, Rex seems to have a problem involving Starfleet. Like, he has this stupid sentence of, I just don't want them to blast their way in. It's like, dude, this is Starfleet. Doing these sorts of missions is supposed to be their main job. Like, yes, they are a military, but they are a scientific fleet. And acting like Starfleet's going to, what? Fire a bunch of torpedoes at a fucking archaeological dig is pretty fucking stupid, dude. Like, come on now. This is Starfleet, not the Klingons. So, yeah, Christine has a little fun with him, says, oh, let me just knock out, basically joking about knocking out Pike, and just telling him, stop being an idiot, this is Starfleet. Basically, you know, I don't get where he's coming from with this. Like, it is a Federation fleet. Like, they are scientists. They do have military roles, but they are scientists. It seems really ridiculous. But she then calms him down. He heads off to prepare for the archaeological dig. And then she bumps into La'an. And what do you think's the first thing they discuss? Is it the mission? Is it the concerns for security? No, it's the awkwardness of the fact she is now dating Spark. And how she doesn't want it to be awkward between them two. And it's just like, for fuck's sake. I don't care. You two are Starfleet officers. Can you just grow up? It's not La'an, by the way, who's trying to make this situation awkward. It's pretty much fucking Christine. Because she's the one that goes, oh, I don't want to feel bad, you to feel bad about me and Rex and you and Spark. It's like, she's the one who's being, you know, professional. She's saying, yeah, can we just get on with the mission? It's all right. I'm fine, you know that I'm dating Spark. It's like, Christ almighty. Can we get on with it? I don't care. You know you're going to get a fucking episode between them 3, right? We all know that, right? But it's going to be that awkward and Spark's going to fucking choose Christine over La'an. And it's going to be so... Oh, fuck me. Anyway. By the way, where's Spark's fiancé? That shit hasn't been sorted out yet, has it? They're not fucking split up, are they? That's not to be mentioned at all. But anyway, so they all head off to the briefing room. We then go to the med bay, where the doctor is getting the team ready for the assignment to the planet. where we are reintroduced to Gamble. Now, if you don't remember, Gamble joined the Enterprise 2 episodes ago, as he wanted to be on the Enterprise, be on the front lines and stuff, you know, exploring strange new worlds and stuff. So this character's been introduced before, but they haven't really done anything with him. This episode, he does a fucking lot. So he gets like kind of starstruck by Rex because he's about to find something amazing, you know, put his mark on history, and he's kind of jealous of that. Like, he wants to be a part of this. He would like to go down with the away team. Oh my god, isn't it funny that we haven't had an away team that felt Star Trek in such a long time? So ridiculous. But yeah, he wants to be a part of the away team because he's really interested in this science and archaeological stuff. And so the Doctor says, well, if you want to go, you can go. And Gambit's like, I'm happy, amazed. He wants this so much. And you kind of feel like, yeah, this guy, he's a fucking real Federation officer. He wants to, you know, do his job. He wants to go out there. So yeah, it was refreshing to see that from Star Trek. Someone who actually wants to be a fucking Starfleet officer, not crying like Tilly in fucking Discovery or fuck the rest of the fucking crew from Discovery. I can't even remember their names now. It's been that long. But yeah, it's just refreshing to see that. So he heads off to go into the meeting, into the briefing room, gets on the elevator where he bumps into Christine and La'an, who are awkward again. And they head to the briefing, tell Pike what's going to happen. They're going to beam down to the planet, look for artifacts and shit. And they've got to keep to the rules and all that shit and blah, blah, blah. Whilst this briefing's going on, we're then reintroduced to La'an's brother, who is filming a documentary on Enterprise, because apparently everybody still has a TV. Now, I didn't go into this from the second episode because that's when he was introduced, but what the fuck is he doing making documentaries? Because television should be gone from Star Trek. You know, humanity's supposed to move on from all that shit. Why are we dealing with a guy making documentaries? I mean, what the fuck is this? I didn't go into it because I didn't feel like I needed to then, but now it's been brought up again. This seems a bit law-breaking. I mean, again, when you watch Star Trek Voyager and you see fucking Paris, you know, get a TV from B'Elanna, it's like, oh my god, this is ancient technology. And yes, that's the point. Television's supposed to be gone. Okay, rant over, I know, stupid, but it just annoys me. Like, there's human stuff that we moved away from, and they keep bringing it back for stupid characters. I'm not saying Ortega's brother is stupid, it's just his career should not exist. He should be assigned anyway. So yeah, he's filming a documentary and he's trying to control the meeting room by getting Pike to say his line again. He's like, no dude, no, it's not him, it's Una who has to tell him, yeah, shut up and just film your documentary. Then you've got Pelia, I think that's her name, trying to play up to the camera, which was kind of annoying. I mean, anyway, yeah, so she's playing to the camera. They agreed, yeah, we have all the safety concerns of the away team sorted out. We've got the mission done. Let's get on with it. We get down to the planet where you see Rex as dig site, and they've apparently found some technology that's leading them to some sort of building. They unlock the technology. Oh, I forgot the scene between Christine and Spock, where Christine tries to act all casual about the relationship between Spock and La'an, but she also wants to make sure that Spock and Rex are getting on okay and making sure they act professional and shit. It's like, it's Spock, love, come on. He'll be professional. He's not going to fucking make a scene. And I was kind of worried that there was going to be this stupid scene between Rex and Spock. That was a concern at this point, because for about a couple of scenes now we've had to talk about Spock and Christine being okay with each other, which is annoying. But yeah, Spock says, I'm perfectly fine, I'll be very professional. Then Christine finds out that the way Spock's going to be professional is he's not going to go on the away mission, which pisses off Christine, because all of Spock's work can be done from the ship, so he doesn't have to interact with Rex, and that pisses her off for some reason. But for me, this is just stupid. Like, yes, Spock's being very professional here. He's going to do his work from the ship and stay away from Rex. It seems like he's done the realistic thing, the more professional thing. Stay out of the way and let's not have any stupid, awkward situations. That seems like the right thing to do, Christine. But so anyway, they're being down to the planet. Rex is doing his archaeological shit. We get this kind of funny moment with Gamble, who tries to shake hands with the Macron that's there, and he doesn't shake his hand because Rex just says no, he doesn't do that shit. And then he tries to talk about his vocal range, which just gets stopped by Rex when he says, hey, we got some archaeological shit to do, let's get on with it, which I kind of found funny. So at the archaeological dig, they find this little bit of technology, they activate it, and apparently it then reveals this massive complex, this massive building. Should I mention Uhura and Ortiga's brother shit? I'll just be quick about it. They apparently have a thing for each other, and we're going through this whole shitty thing of them pretending they don't have a thing for each other. They do that a couple of times in the episode. That's what I'm going to mention about that. I have enough with Christine and Spock, and I honestly, I don't give a shit about these two. Sorry, Uhura, I just don't care. Anyway, so they found this mysterious building. They head into the building. They think it's a palace at first, but it starts to change over time. Turns into this massive complex where you see from miles and miles of just bricks and science shit. I don't know what the fuck they would call it. And they go to this little panel in the middle of the room. They head over to it and they start reading the information on the panels on around the thing, where the Macron in this building, and so we're not at that point yet. They go into the facility. They then find a bunch of bodies in the middle of the room, where they start to scan them, and they find some equipment around these bodies. And this is where Spock says, oh, because Spock also then joined the mission because they found this massive facility, they need more people to be in the away mission. So they send down, who do you think? Spock and La'an, and that's all they can send because that's all the Macrons have agreed to go into the building with them to search out what's this place, what is it, what's it for, basically all that shit. So yeah, so they go into the facility, find these bodies. Spock then calls time on the away mission, says it looks like it's too dangerous to continue, we should return to the Enterprise. Rex is completely against this because he wants to keep exploring, because technically he did find this building, so he wants to keep exploring it. But Spock says it's too dangerous. Christine tries to tell him it's worth the risk, they'll take precautions, but Spock says that's not how Starfleet does this, and Rex kind of has a look on his face, like, I told you. But Christine kind of tries to convince him again, and Spock kind of relents and says, okay, I'm not going to be the one to decide this. He looks at the Macron and says, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to stay here and keep exploring, or do you want us to leave? And the Macron says something in his language, and Uhura just says, yeah, he's fine with it. They want to figure out where they've come from, because they believe this could be something from the Macron's past that can answer some questions for the Macrons. So Spock agrees to allow the away team to keep going, but whilst Spock and Christine and Rex are having this argument, Gamble had continued his scans of the bodies. He found out the bodies starved to death. They weren't murdered, they didn't eat any food for a long time, so that's mysterious. Now, how have they died Have they been locked here? Who knows? But whilst he was looking around and Spock and Christine were having this stupid fight with each other, Gamble started to see this little bit of technology on the floor. It's a little ball thing having some material inside it. So he brings the ball up to his face to inspect it a bit more, and then all of a sudden, boom! It blows Gamble's face and destroys his eyes. And then Spock has to send him back to the Enterprise for medical assistance. And then they start arguing again, but it doesn't matter. They keep on with the mission. But then we go to Gamble, who heads up back to the Enterprise. Doctor gets him on a medbed and puts some regenerational glasses on to repair his eyes. Gambit wakes up from, the blast and, doesn't really remember where he is at first. Wonders why he can't see. The Doctor tells him, "You're all right, you just had your eyes blown out." I will say this, it was a bit over the top bloody in my opinion, but it is Kurtzman Trek, so they do go over the top with the blood. But Doctor calms him down and says, "You'll be fine, we're just going to repair your eyes and you'll be good as new later." That seems to calm down Gamble. Pike comes in to kind of ask what the fuck happened. Doctor tells him an explosive device hit him in the eyes, and they're trying to regenerate his eyes, but it doesn't seem to be working. Now, he doesn't want to tell Gamble that because he doesn't want to freak him out. But there's also other problems. Like, scans are finding that there's more parts of Gamble's body that are dying, and they don't know why. He also tells Pike that it's not airborne, so the virus that he thinks he has is not going to affect anybody else in the crew. And the captain just nods his head and said, "Okay, just keep you posted." We go back down to the planet where the away team are still looking around and seeing what this place is. And then when they walk through to the main area in the room with the pillar, they start reading around the pillar and all this information. And then the Macron with them starts to panic because one of the words means danger or evil or something. And then he runs to the door, but the door has some sort of protection on it and kills the Macron with, I think, a phaser, and then traps the away team in the facility. So what the fuck just happened? What is this facility if it's got a gun at front and not allowing people to leave? Whilst that's happening, Spock kind of realises, or Christine, sorry, kind of realises that she has been accepted by the technology of this facility as someone that the facility can trust, because she can activate things that other people can't. So she activates a bridge, they walk over the bridge, but then they get split up. Don't know what happened. And as you can guess, the two teams are basically Christine, Leon, Uhura and Ortigue's brother, and Spock and Rex. And this is where I thought, oh shit, we're going to have this stupid conversation between Rex and Spock about fucking Christine, aren't we? Oh my god. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. They all stayed professional. They all tried to figure out what the fuck is happening. And whilst all this is going on, Spock and Rex kind of realise that they are in levered space. Not levered, layered space. So basically they've all been moved around in different universes or different spatial areas. And it turns out they found out what this facility is because when Spock was inspecting one of the ball things that Gamble had, it was a prison for something mysterious, a creature. So this facility is a prison. And now they're stuck in it. So basically this facility might have been a science facility before they figured out what they were messing with, because apparently throughout this episode Rex and Spock have been debating about immortality, and basically Spock doesn't think that's real, even though Pelia exists. Like, Spock, come on, that bitch has been alive for fucking hundreds of years. Like, come on. It's not out of the realm of possibility it could happen. Pelia's a fucking... She's evidence of it, isn't she? But anyway, so they have this debate. They figure out what this facility is. It's a prison for all of these creatures. And then we go back up to the Enterprise, where we see the Doctor has to tell Gamble that, yeah, your brain's dead. And most of your body seems to be dying. So how the fuck is he alive? How is he talking to the Doctor? He doesn't know. He tries to do some more scans, and whilst he turns his back to Gamble, Gamble starts to say things he shouldn't know. Like the Doctor's daughter. He starts to say some evil stuff about his daughter, like, was she just a fake imitation? Did she take her skin? Some weird shit like that. And the Doctor kind of realises, holy shit, something might have taken control of Gamble, sorry. And then, whilst he's doing his scans, Pike's girlfriend comes in, and then we get this weird fight between this creature and the Gorn inside Pike's girlfriend. They have this little fight scene, but she obviously wins because it's still Kurtzman Trek. Throws him on the floor. He then manages to run off. Pike comes in with two security officers. The security officers run after Gamble, and the Doctor then has to stun Pike's girlfriend because of the Gorn insider. Then we catch up to the Doctor chasing after the security guys who are chasing after Gamble, who's apparently captured one of the security officers. And it turns out Gamble has just retaken control of his body, but also taken a security officer hostage. Tells the Doctor he didn't mean to kill the person that's laying on the ground. Begs the Doctor for help, and the Doctor tells him, I can help you, just let the guy go. He does, and the security officers take him to the brig, because that's the only place that the Doctor can deal with him safely, because he has just killed an officer now. So you go back down to the planet, where Spock and Christine and all the rest of them start to figure out what to do to unlock this facility. Rex found some panel on the ground. He puts it in place. He also gave Uhura a ring that he found from a different planet that also apparently connects to this facility. She puts it on the panel as well. It then changes or transports to where Christine is. Christine manages to activate the system, realigning the space and having them all joined together again. Whilst this is all going on, Gamble then wakes up. Well, it's not Gamble anymore, it's his creature. So the creature wakes up in Gamble's body, calls over to the security officer at the brig, tells him about his mother, and then is able to push his hand through the force field, grabs the security officer by the neck and snaps his neck, and just walks through the security field, and then grabs a phaser and heads into the Enterprise. We don't know where yet. Back down on the planet, Spock has figured out how they leave the prison. They have to take a leap of faith that he has seen that there is a bridge connecting them and the door, and he needs Christine to have faith in him, and we get this whole relationship shit between them. Like, I know you don't trust me for a lot of things, but you should trust me because I'm a scientist. Yeah, that had to be said, didn't it? And you have Rex kind of bitching at the back, like, no, Christine, don't step into nothing. But Spock gets Christine's trust, and Christine then has a leap of faith, lands her foot on the bridge is then activated, and then they're able to leave the facility safely. And then they lock down the facility and head back up to the Enterprise. Whilst they're heading up to the Enterprise, we then go back to Gamble, who has taken Pelia, Scotty and Kirk's brother hostage with a phaser, demanding that they give him the codes for the Enterprise so he can take over the Enterprise from engineering. They all refuse. He's about to shoot them, but the Doctor comes in with a phaser and tells the creature to put down his phaser and to let his friend go. Unfortunately, the creature doesn't listen, tries to get the Doctor to put down his phaser by acting like Gamble, but then Pelia pulls out a phaser, shoots him in the back, and she kills Gamble. And the creature then leaves the body, but Scotty grabs the ball thing and traps the creature back in the ball thing and transports it into the transporter buffer, leaving it there forever. We then go to Pike in the briefing room, where he's told about what's going to happen to the prison and what the Federation and Macron's going to do. It's basically going to keep up security around the place and make sure nobody enters that place again so those creatures don't escape. Pelia then tells Pike that it was the right thing to do, what she did, killing Per Gamble, and the fact that there is evil in the galaxy. And she does this kind of great speech, and then she turns to Ortigue's brother and says, "Would you like me to say it again for the cameras?" Which I kind of felt was annoying. But that's how the episode ends. And it ends with the Doctor having to call up Gamble's family to tell them that he has tragically died. And the cliffhanger is the Enterprise's computers turn alien for a second, but then they go back to normal, and that's how the episode ends. It's a great episode. I mean, the fact they gave Gamble this big storyline and he just joined the show is amazing. Like, I've said this for a long time about Strange New Worlds. It gives everybody a fair chance of having a good story. Like what they used to do in Next Generations, Deep Space Nine, Voyager. All of that great storytelling that Discovery could not do once. Not even once for a side character. Utter bullshit, that series. The fact he got 5 seasons still fucking surprises me. But yeah, this episode, it was great. It's the best episode of the season so far. Still gutted we didn't get a 2-parter. I think it needed a 2-parter. But overall, 8 out of 10. Absolutely enjoyed it. I would say I can't wait for next week's episode, but I've been right so far about how the episodes go. Good, bad, good, bad. So next week could be 50-50. Who knows? A good episode, a bad episode. We'll find out next week. But that's the end of my review. If you like this review, give it a like. If you dislike this review, give it a dislike. And if you like my content, do consider subscribing. And if you have a comment, leave it below and I'll try to get back to it. Entertainment Soldier. Bye.